Hi guys, sorry for the late intro. But today I have another game for you in my Tier 10 Japanese battleship, the Yamato. And of course the title, this thing is still OP. Well, it still is. Still the king of long range sniping in my opinion, especially with the legendary module. I told you guys what I like to do is play it slow at the start. But there's a carrier in the game. This thing does not have the best AA. So you're definitely going to want help when it comes to that department. Which is why I carry a fighter instead of the spotting plane. Just because of the more carriers that are around. I would like to stay close to my Salem. Because I remember the good old days when U.S. cruisers were pretty much the best AA ships. Now you need to find yourself a Holland or one of the new Russian cruisers. Think they'd be the light cruiser line? So I'm utilizing the island to conceal my advancement. I'm only going to half speed because I do have an Alabama next to me. While it's only a tier 8, it's still overlapping AA, and if the carrier's coming in from the side that he is on, and he's on seaside because he's spotted, Alabama's going to pick him up first. Now, of course, I did hit the gas a little bit in the hopes of seeing the carrier again. To maybe potentially blap him off the start of the bat, but unfortunately not. Now, the other thing is this Montana's getting a little bit too close for comfort for my liking. You may say getting too close for comfort, hell, he's 16.5 kilometers away from you. Yes, that's too close for me. Best to keep him at range. Now, I take the shot while he's making a turn in the hopes that he's going to stall his turn, then continue his turn, and that I will get his broadside with the follow-up shot. Which right here, I do get his broadside, but the guy's going to make another smart play. He's going to hit the brakes. You can see him slow down and turn in. I always say when in doubt, turn out. But what you can do to kill your speed is slow down and either turn in or turn out. In this case, he turned in, but he could still turn out. Now, our clubber is going in for the YOLO rush. Because prior to actually seeing this right now, I was always wondering what the hell hit that Montana. See the turrets, I'm like, okay, turrets is broadside. I have AP loaded, I'm looking for targets that's going to maximize my damage with what I have loaded. AP, broadside. I might as well shoot broadside targets. I've been looking at 12K. And this is what I mean by long range. Now, there is a shot on German battleships where you can set it out through the nose. It's the cheek shot for the Yamato. And if you know how to do that, you'll be able to get it on German battleships. It's also not an easy shot to make. So what I did there was, it's easier to make the closer you are because you're going to get less dispersion. It's actually aimed for his guns to put his guns out of cycle. I hit the gas and I start moving up forward. I still want to stay within AA range of the ships, and I'm using the AA bubble on the minimap, which is the yellow one, to keep these guys within my AA, because if they're within my AA, I'm within their AA. And that's how I judge whether or not I'm overlapping my AA. Also looking at them, I'm a little bit too close. I would like a little bit more distance so the flat clouds can really just ramp up get more flat clouds, because the more flat clouds there are, I don't care how good you are, you're not avoiding them all, and all it takes is one lucky flat cloud to wipe out all of your planes. It's the flat clouds that kill planes, not the continuous damage. Continuous damage just finishes them off. You know, take for example, like this Frederick D. Grosser here. It's the Salem that is eventually going to finish him off just due to his rate of fire. But it was somebody else that hit him real hard to get him low enough for the Salem to do it. Now I'm getting a little bit, what the hell do I shoot at? I should have kept my guns turning for the Vladivostok that's on B instead of the Hindenburg. And I didn't even zoom in sniper mode for the Hindenburg because I noticed he's moving too fast to get behind the island and my shells aren't going to get there. The thing about the Yamato is, even while shooting at range, they have what I would consider, or what I think of, just to help me remember, is they have like North Carolina floatiness. Not as bad, but they're not as fast as everyone else's shells. They are a little bit slower and floaty. But what do you want from 18.1 inch shells? Now I take a shot on the Vlad because he was broadside and I got rewarded for it. I know it's going to take every single shell to hit this French DD who's going max speed to get, to maximize my damage, which is why I shot him second after the Vlad wasn't a viable target. Taking a shot at the DD. The Tirpitz decided to reverse out. Whatever. But here is a Hindenburg who is broadside to me. I don't aim waterline. I'm aiming actually right below where the railings would be on the ship. Now, turning my guns for the French destroyer, as I get a double sit on the Hindenburg. That was from what is called or considered plunging fire. This is true for any tier. The further away you are from the ships, you actually want plunging fire. You don't want the waterline shots. Waterline shots are for when targets are close and your shells are going straightish, like coming out perfectly straight-ish, because there is a slight arc to them. You can see this arc, like the further away the target is. I aimed up a little bit high because I knew the Vlad was turning out, which was a good call on him. But when you are shooting at range, your shells are making an arc and coming down straight. So if they do hit the side of the ship, you're just going to bounce. Even these shells will bounce off the side of a ship. And I mean, like, their armor belt. And just, get yourself a ricochet. Got a couple on this Vladivostok. Now I see 142 hit points and I'm like, oh my god. Somebody kill this guy. Well, the only person who can really is myself and maybe the Palmerin, but I don't know if the Palmerin's looking this way. So I'm going to waste a salvo on 142 HP. Because I failed to see the carrier coming in, dropping, but still he could have avoided that. Didn't know if the Palmerin was going to shoot. And I say waste a shot. The carrier probably would have got him. But you shoot it till it's dead. So it's not a wasted shot, in my opinion. Because it ended up killing him and got him off the board. What they did was possibly buy the Republic up north some time, because there's one less ship coming over that he's got to deal with. Managed to incapacitate a gun on the Hindenburg. But remember when I said you've got to eventually push up and use your health? As you can see, I'm leading this charge from the south side while the Neptune and Pomeran are on the north side of this island leading the charge that way. But I am in the front leading this charge. I've got nearly all of my HP. Everything I'm shooting at is at range as I manage to finish off the Hindenburg.
Our team has taken
It's at this point I see Yamato at 15 kilometers, so I'm like, okay, even if we get in a close range, we're both at the same disadvantage in far as turrets. The only difference is this guy's got to make the shot through the bow. It's playing with speed and angling just a little bit can completely screw his shots up, but he looks like he's going to be coming out broadside to me. Which is why I kind of kept my guns looking that way. Now I do aim up a little bit because I notice he is starting to turn and angle up on me. As you can see, I get a non-pen and only one of my shells managed to hit. So at this point I'm thinking, ah, crap, here comes AP bombs. And then I think to myself, oh shit, here is an Akizuki. Now because I was angling a little bit, what I'm going to do is hit the gas and get to as close to this island as possible to potentially protect me from torpedoes coming in from the Akizuki. From the way he came out, the more I stay in line with what I'm at now is his torpedoes aren't going to hit me because he had to drop them because of the island. As I easily avoided those torpedoes. Now, the reason I kept turning this way is Yamato's out of the fight, the Brindisi's out of the fight, and I wanted to get my rear turret onto the DD. The fastest way to get my turret on target is turn the ship. This island is protecting me from the destroyer, Yamato, and Brindisi. The only things that can potentially strike me is going to be a Jean Bart and the carrier. Now, the Akizuki, sent preemptive torpedoes, which not a horrific call by him. But I had kind of gassed a little bit. He may or may not have sent these torps, which is why I initially never sped up. I only went a half and then started slowing down. And I take a torp on the nose. Torpedoes actually count as citadel damage, which is why you see the high damage numbers on my nose, which was 16k for one torp, because that is what Wargaming considers it is citadel damage. I type in chat, I miss farming unsinkable, because at this point I think, you know what, we probably got this game wrapped up. If this was old flooding mechanics, I pretty much would let that thing just flood, because I could potentially just heal on through it, still maintain some of my health, and all the flooding damage would be healable, as you would just be me managing the rest of my health. Now I start reversing because I don't want the Brindisi to potentially decap me again, but it's also protecting my broadside from the Yamato. The Yamato can't hit me. Pomeran's up there taking a massive beating. And unfortunately he goes down, but we do manage to get the cap with the Neptune and Alabama. Like, we're all on this cap. Our repub that was all the way up north has finally remade engagement. And I like where the repub's at. I don't even know what his health is. I'm not even going to turn and look. The guy was kiting potentially for his life. But he's behind us. Sorry for the cough. He is behind us, still actively engaging these guys. And I'm going to assume he's low healthish. Could be about the same health as me, could be potentially lower, but it doesn't matter. He's still here, able to engage the targets we are engaging. The Repub does have some very good range on it. Now the Alabama's going for it, and I'm sure the Bama's going for it because I want more damage. You're this low health, there's no real reason to keep pushing per se. The Brindisi can actually easily kill you. The Akiryu shouldn't have a problem, or unless ours is going to start offering you fighters. Now, our carrier did a decent job maybe dropping those fighters to give you somewhere
Our
to
victory
run
is
to.
in sight.
But I'm holding my shot for the
Battle
carrier.
ends in 5 minutes.
As you can see, torpedoes came in, which means this carrier, this guy's still turning. So I'm like, well, if he's gonna keep turning, I might as well wait until he's broadside, because why not just blast the guy? And I guarantee you the Repub is thinking the same thing, because what you're gonna see is an absolute ass blasting from everybody on this thing.
Enemy aircraft
Guarantee you
carrier
the
sunk.
Repub hit him pretty hard. I hit him for nearly 20k, you know, Citadel him. All because I was patient and waited. You know, you're constantly hearing me, right ammo choice for the right situation. Unfortunately, I'm in Yamato, so the right situation is, well, you're in a Yamato all the time. But if you see the guy's going to actively turn, wait. Not going to take the shot, because this shot would be a waste. Now, what this Brindisi is going to do is do something that kind of irritates me. He's the only ship left against how many of us? Okay, the Bama goes down. Knew that was going to happen. But you have a Neptune, a Yamato, and a Repub. And we have a carrier. You're not going to win against the carrier. You would have to hit all of your torpedoes on me
Torpedoes astern.
to potentially kill me, and my nose is saturated, which means you have to hit my torpedo belt, which is the best torpedo belt in the game. It will mitigate like 60% of the damage. But what he's doing that really just irks me, why are you smoking up, dude? Take the loss. Get on. Let's move on with our lives. Like, as soon as you come around, you're going to be spotted because you shot, and that's game, guys. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed this replay. I do hope you enjoyed this game. I do hope you learned something from my thought process and what I was thinking, what I was doing, my target selection, why I was shooting at it, why I never needed to load HE, because Yamato is OP as all hell still. I do appreciate all the support you guys do give me. I'm sorry there wasn't a cruiser gameplay, but I haven't gotten any good cruiser games for, well, until next patch, really. And I didn't want to give you guys another German battleship. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button and have yourselves one heck of a great day.